Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today, I want to explain about different types of properties. So, imagine you're coming to the UK and you're trying to find a place to live. So, let's go over a few of the properties. Well, I'm sure you all know what an apartment is. In the UK, we call them flats. Flats. Okay. And they can have 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, or they might be studio flats or studio apartments. A studio apartment is one which is one big room. One big room with a cooker on one side, a little kitchen, a main area to watch TV, and a place to sleep. A bed, which may also be a sofa, or you may have a sofa and a bed in the same place. So that's a studio. Very economical, usually very cheap, and very easy to find as well. Next, we have houses. So you have detached houses, and that's the ones which sit alone. So on either side, there aren't neighbors attached to your wall. Okay, those houses are completely independent. And then you have semi-detached, which is where you might have a neighbor attached to your house. There's a neighboring house, which is in the same block. And that could be on one side or on both sides. And then you have actual houses, which may be called something like 4 in a block or in a row in a street if you have neighbors on both sides. Those are the main ones. So that's apartment, flats, studio flats. You might also find things like attic apartments, which are kind of the same as studio flats, but maybe not quite as big and always in the roof if it's an attic. You might also find the basement flats, which is under the ground. I used to live in one of those. Very nice it was as well. And then the houses, detached, semi-detached. Maybe you'll hear things like blocks, 4 in a blocks. Or you might even see an old mansion house which has been converted into apartments, which are also very nice. The houses, or I should say the apartments, which are in blocks, are sometimes called tenements. And a tenement is an apartment block which has been renovated over time. They're usually quite old tenements. They're very nice, but the problem with them is they can be very, very noisy. So they usually have very high ceilings. They look beautiful, very Victorian, but if you stop to examine them, you'll find out that the walls are very thin. And a lot of people don't like that, especially if you're in the bottom rather than in the top. So tenements, you have to take a little bit of care. Well, I suppose wherever you live, you have to take a little bit of care in case you have noisy neighbors. So that would be a tenement. Beautiful buildings, lots of space, but sometimes a little bit noisy. Tenements. What else do we have? Well, we've done apartments, flats, houses, detached, semi-detached, and tenements. I think that's about it. So, of course, in the UK, all of the landlords are registered on special registers. So, if they're asking for a deposit of money, you will get that back. You know, you have to pay a deposit up front and you get it back when you leave. It's kind of like a security bond. So that's all looked after by the registrar. So if you get into any difficulties or problems with your landlord, you can ask the registrar for the money back. It it comes directly to you, I think, from them. So the landlord isn't actually holding your money. There's a registration scheme for protection of the people renting. So it's good to know, isn't it? Right, that's it from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. See you. Bye.